Hey, this is Mary Oakley Robertson. I run track at ETSU, and you're listening to the No Playbook podcast.
Hey, thanks for checking out the show. It's the podcast where we talk with the outstanding athletes, coaches, and experts that help to make sports and fitness such an important part of life here in the Southeast. I wonder if you'd do me a favor, really quick. Just take a second, subscribe to the podcast. Just wherever you're listening right now, it would really do me a favor. And it makes it really easy for you. So every time I publish a new episode, it just pops right up there on your phone. My guest today is a phenomenal athlete with a ton of drive. Her name is Mary Oakley Robertson, a track athlete at ETSU. She went to high school at Knoxville Catholic. And I can attest to this. She is working out at D1 with Corey Wendell, training all the time. So she was cool enough to join me on the podcast actually the day after Christmas. So I was very grateful for doing that. It's a great chat and my last one of 2023. So enjoy. It's coming up right after this. Sit tight.
RecruitMe puts the recruiting process in your hands. Most student athletes wait for college coaches to discover them, but coaches are busy and don't always have the time to find them. RecruitMe allows you to build an online profile to share directly with college coaches and is designed to help you enter all of the information coaches want to see: your stats, your highlight videos, your academic information, your social links, and more. Plus, our team is here to make sure that your profile stands out with personalized suggestions. With over 25,000 coaches in our database, our premium plan gives you access to D1, D2, D3, and NAIA coaches across the country. And more importantly, gives them access to you. Enter your schedule of games and tournaments to let coaches know when and where you're playing so they can come out and watch you shine. Then communicate with interested coaches via our chat feature. When it comes to recruiting, don't make coaches research you. Do the work for them. Get started today at the RecruitMe app, on the web, and in the app stores.
At D1 Training, what we do is in our name. Our D1 athletes become D1 athletes. Whether it's Los Angeles Angels pitcher Ben Joyce, high school soccer national MVP Brindley Murphy, or first-round NFL draft pick Cole Strange, we help all athletes reach their full potential. Five-star training system comes straight from D1 strength and conditioning programs, and D1 has trained over 2,000 professional athletes. Many of them started as young as 7 years old. Check out D1Training.com to learn more about their facilities in Hardin Valley and Sevierville, and coming very soon to Maryville and the Tri-Cities.
Mary Oakley, thank you
How
for
are you?
joining me.
Of course.
Yeah, day after Christmas too. That's I wasn't sure I would get you this week.
Of course, of course. I'm leaving tomorrow for a family trip, so this was my one day that I
Yeah.
could.
Where do you head?
We are going to the Siesta Keys.
Where? I'm sorry.
Siesta Keys, all the way
Oh,
down in Florida.
cool.
Yeah, excited. Nice little break.
Wow. Is that a drive though?
It is a drive. It's like 11 and a half hours, I think.
Yikes.
Yeah,
Um,
but it'll be
but
fun.
but Christmas was spent here in town.
Yes, sir. It was. We're at home.
Yeah, yeah. So you are is it a sophomore at ETSU?
I am.
You get back often down to the Knoxville area?
I really don't. I love my routine and my schedule with track and school and everything. Kind of just stick to that up in Johnson City, but I come home every now and then.
Yeah. Well, I guess first talk about that like recruiting process when it comes to, I don't know, the track world. What was that like for you? How'd you end up there?
Um, it was a lot. It was a fun experience. It was definitely a stressful experience. Because track is just based off of time, and certain schools have certain standards for recruitment, and if you don't have it, you don't have it. And so you have to know what you're getting into time wise and what you're capable of, and push yourself if you really have high hopes for certain schools to get those standards. My process was pretty smooth. I talked to multiple schools for a little bit, but then I competed in high school at ETSU for indoor during the summer. No, during the winter of Christmas time. I don't know why I said summer. And so I competed there, and my coach knew the sprint coach at ETSU at the time, who's no longer there. But met him and I talked to him, and we kind of immediately got into communication, set up recruiting visits and all of that, and it just felt like home. So I kind of picked it pretty quickly, but it was a good experience.
Now you mentioned you like your routine. What is that really as a college track athlete?
It is almost the exact same thing every single day. It's like every day on repeat, but I love it. It's just I recently in the past season had hip surgery. So I'm in the training room a lot doing different rehab and treatment and that kind of stuff. So I'm in the training room every morning and then I'm immediately in class after that for a few hours and then get ready for practice and lift for a few more hours, back in the training room for rehab and treatment. And then it's kind of recovery. I'll sometimes go to the gym after and get extra work in, extra running in for like endurance and more long distance training at night, and then do it all over again.
Yeah. Is it that the same kind of stuff you work on when you're at D1 with Corey?
Yes, it is.
What is
Yeah,
what
I
is the
do.
routine he's got you on? Like any specific goals?
We are really trying to just get my hip back to what it was before surgery. A lot of speed and agility with for my endurance and just a bunch of we do a lot of technique work and that kind of just like the little like nitpicky stuff to that really you wouldn't think of, but you really have to work on to strengthen your ankles, your hips, like just the kind of mobility stuff that is the behind the scenes of track.
Oh yeah. Both Corey and like Ryan, I don't know if you know Ryan from D1. They work on some
Hmm.
stuff sometimes that I think is just so when you say nitpicky,
Hmm.
it's fascinating like even when it comes to just balance and some of the different things they've got folks working on is always super surprising because I'm the marketing
I
guy, I'm
know.
not a trainer, so it's neat to see
Yeah,
that and it's I guess it really works.
it really does. And it's interesting sometimes because it's stuff you would never think of and you feel silly doing it or you feel like you look silly doing it, but then it does strengthen over time. We do it week by week and I can do it better the next week. I can do it, I can go up and weight the next week. So it really does work. But in the moment, it's a fun experience though. It's cool
Yeah.
learning new
Well,
things.
Ryan does look silly because he wears those shoes that look like socks and they
Yes.
come individual.
Yeah. I've
So
seen
yeah,
those.
I don't care if they work. I'll never not make fun of those.
Oh, 100%.
Now what about Moakley Customs? Corey was showing me your Instagram on that. It looks super cool.
Oh yeah, so that is a personal business that I started about 3 years ago, maybe. And it was just for fun. I've always loved art, painting, done a lot of creative stuff, but I had never thought about having a business. But one year I had painted with just like normal craft paint, a pair of old Air Force Ones, just for fun, because I was like, oh, that would be cool. And I was out at the beach, I think, wearing them. And someone was like, where did you get those? And I was like, I mean, I just painted them at home. And she was like, I need a pair. And I was like, oh. And so then I immediately went and bought the correct supplies for the leather paint and everything and painted a pair. And everyone was like, you've got to make an Instagram. You've got to make an Instagram. So then it kind of spiraled from there. And I stay pretty busy. I have orders almost all the time.
That's
So
really
it's
cool.
fun.
Um, Now, so I've been with D1 now for a little over a year, but before that, I was with Dick's House of Sport for about 2 years.
Okay.
The huge Dick's Sporting Goods in Knoxville. And one of the things I saw that really was surprising to me is that people will come buy plain white sneakers with the intention of doing what you're talking about.
Hmm.
And like what I would always do is I kind of put on these events for the community and different things, be it NIL or some kind of a clinic for kids. But I always wanted to do something like that where we could bring in somebody like you. So I have no authority there anymore, but I would love to connect you with somebody there because I
I
think
would love to do that.
still would look for somebody to do that kind of stuff because for them it's cool because people are going to buy the shoes from them,
Yeah,
and then from you it's obviously would get you some more business. I think it'd be pretty fun.
that would be super awesome.
Somebody from
Yeah, that's
Dick's is
cool.
probably listening to this like, shut up, Casey, we can't do that.
Stop. We can't do that.
Don't make offers we can't fulfill. um well, something else big, Alani, you're an Alani athlete. What does that mean exactly?
Yes. So I contacted Alani this summer because I kind of have an addiction to Alani. Like I have to have an Alani every single day. It does not matter what I'm doing. And for some reason, it's at 3 o'clock every day. Like it is like clockwork every single day. And I was spending so much money on them and I love their products. And so I was like, why don't I reach out to them and see if they would love to like work together? So I made a purpose statement and all of that and contacted them, not thinking, because I was like, this is a big brand. Like I'm not sure and I'd never really talked to any other companies about anything. I was like, I'm not sure, but I'll try. So I reached out to them and they ended up responding. And so I just sponsor them and promote their products for products in return and that all of that. But it's fun to work with. I was very shocked when I got a response.
Well, that's great. That's great. That goes to
Yeah,
show you just got to take a shot sometimes.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. That's how it goes sometimes with this podcast. I'll reach out to people and I've reached out to so many huge name people that don't respond, but every now and then you do get one.
Hmm.
Monica Abbott is an example of somebody that I couldn't believe. She got back to me quickly, actually, and she was like, "Yeah, I'd love to come on." It's like, "Whoa,
Oh,
really?"
yeah.
So,
Sometimes you just gotta do it.
yeah, yeah, you just never know. Over the holidays, I was really in close contact with the kid that played Goldberg in the Mighty Ducks.
Really.
Yeah, he's got an interesting story, and he was another one that he's been in contact with me. I don't know that we're gonna pull the podcast off together, but that was another one I couldn't believe he got back with me. Um,
Yeah, just to be in communication with him. That's cool.
yeah. So looking at some of your accolades, you've done really well in the 200 and 400. What is your favorite event, would you say?
The 400, which people think I am absolutely crazy for saying that. They're like, you couldn't pay me to run a 400. Da, 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 da. But the 400, I love how hard it is. I love the pain of it. How it's the last 100 part where you can't feel your legs and you're like, I never want to run again. Um,
How many laps
I
is a
love the
400?
400. Just one,
This one, okay, got it. But
just
it's a
one.
full
It's
lap.
two indoor. Yes.
So what
Yeah.
is an outstanding time? Like, what's your best time on the 400?
Right now, I PR'd in high school at 58, which isn't an outstanding time, especially for college, but I have not competed since because I redshirted freshman year. So I'm hoping the times I'm hitting at practice, I should have a decent PR this year. So fingers crossed, my hip stays
Yeah.
put together and I get out there.
Well, just for reference, and I'm just going back to my personal experience. I didn't run track, but in high school, we had to run a 6 minute mile to even be able
Hmm.
to try out for the team.
Wow.
So, and I remember that we got it down to it was a 90-second lap. So you had to basically run, I guess, a 490 seconds, but do that 4 times. Even still
Wow.
running those in 90, I remember like watching looking at my watch and like, I mean, I wasn't gonna do much better than that. I just wanted to get these so we can get three more right
Yeah.
after. But like even looking at 58, like that's super impressive.
Yeah. It's a work in progress. I definitely had some ups and downs with it in high school. And then not I was competing right and just trying to get my time down to because that's the event I wanted to get recruited for. And then wasn't aware that I was trying to PR and get recruited with the torn labrum. So I kept pushing it and pushing it, but I ended up dropping it by like 3 seconds in like a span of a few weeks in high school. So I was like, I'm doing this. I'm going to college. I'm going to a school that I'm really proud to go to, and it's gonna happen. So
Yeah. I like all my time up that I've spent at ETSU, um,
yeah,
just for different events with the athletic department. Even the basketball coach, he came on the podcast. He was
Coach
such a
Savage,
cool
he is
guy.
awesome. He's so neat.
Yeah, yeah, he's a good dude. He was so he was I think he's my age, maybe a year or two younger, but he was an assistant at Tennessee for a long time.
Hmm.
Um, so we knew a lot of the same folks. What would you say is your favorite? You do a lot with Corey at D1. What's your favorite like exercise in the gym?
Um, my favorite exercise. Um, I love when we like put the buckle around my chest and I'm like doing like long sprints with the chain or like weight behind me. It's not easy, but it's something about it is just like fun to just go all the way down with the chains behind you.
Oh, absolutely. Any of those things, I mean, you can admit it. Like it makes you feel like a badass in that moment. Like
Of course.
it does. That's nothing to be embarrassed by. Um, so just one for fun. I thought we ask, is there any celebrity you'd like to race?
Any celebrity.
Could be an athlete or actress, musician, anything.
Um, this is a basic one, but I would like to race Anna Hall. She's like my idol, and I just want to see her whole like how she goes about things at a track meet and like really like experience within like what she does and how she accomplishes what she accomplishes because she would smoke me, but it would be cool to just like see how she runs her races and gets ready for meets and that kind of stuff.
Yeah. You know, I didn't think about this until just now, but with you being up in Johnson City, there is an athlete from up there. Do you know who Blake Leeper is?
I've
He
heard the
is
name.
from that area. I think he might have gone to Tennessee. He is a world champion um, sprinter. I don't know the right word. Uh, I don't know if it's Paralympics or what, but he was born with no legs, I believe.
Okay. Didn't know
But
it's the Paralympics, I
he
believe.
is a world champion sprinter and
Wow.
incredibly cool guy. I actually learned about him on Daniel Tosh's podcast, and I was fascinated to hear like this guy's from Johnson City, I think it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize he was
Uh,
from there.
yeah, but super cool guy. I would look into him, but he's still like killing it like in the prime of his career. So
Oh
that's a dude I
wow.
would love to run into and meet
That
at
would
some
be
point.
cool.
But he's super successful guy. Um, how about as we're recording this, we said day after Christmas, we're coming up on New Year's.
Hmm.
Are you a New Year's resolution person?
I am. I definitely set some resolutions and some goals. A lot of them are track and then some personal. But this year, I really just want to stay healthy. I want to compete. I want to succeed in my competition. My goal for myself this season is to get on podium at a conference. That would be big. I would just know that what I've been doing the past year with everything that's been going on, that I accomplished something in the past 2 years.
Heck yeah. I mean, you've overcome this injury and come back with a successful, you know, campaign. That would be great.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Uh,
hopefully get that done.
right on. Now, one question I ask everybody, Mary
Hmm.
Oakley, is one unforgettable sports memory for you. And some people share them as an athlete or even, you know, as a spectator.
I feel like New Balance Nationals was very cool. That was a cool experience. Um, it was in the middle of nowhere in North Carolina, but it was so cool just to be up against so many incredible athletes that I would never thought I would like run against. That was a really cool experience and a pretty cool backpack too. But I love that.
Yeah. Here, do you remember where it was in North Carolina?
I do not. I have no idea.
Yeah. That's my old stomping ground, and I grew up in a really small town, like middle of a tobacco field. So
Really?
there's a lot of those small North Carolina towns I've spent a lot
Oh
of time
yeah.
in
Yeah. I
for
lived in
sure.
Raleigh for 8 years, so I've been around there.
Right on. Well, Mary Oakley, did you go to Hardin Valley? Is that right?
I went to Catholic.
Catholic. That's what I said.
Yes.
What was that experience like for you?
It was it was a decent experience. The team was not super big. So it was kind of at times it was like me versus me and I have to like prove myself and battle with myself at a lot of practices. But other times there was some great athletes in there. There's a few coach changes back and forth, especially for the sprinters. Um, but then I also had Corey, who I've had forever, and my club coach, who was always right there by my side. So it was a roller coaster of an experience at Catholic, but I think it definitely got me where I needed to be. I was prepared when I went to college.
Good. That's all you can ask, I guess, from the high
Yeah.
school program. There's one kid there now that I've met a couple times. Keegan, that his name?
Yes, Keegan Smith.
Yes,
Yes.
who is a cross country runner, right?
Yes, he's unreal.
Yeah. I mean, as a freshman, even I think he was like in major national competitions.
Hmm. Yeah, he's been
So
good from a young age.
yeah, he's one I'd love to connect with again. He came, it was at Dick's actually, one of the big events we had with Nike running. He came to, I don't even remember who the athlete was, but there was some track star there that was Keegan's like sports idol.
Oh.
So it was really cute getting to see him there,
Hmm.
like with his pad, get an autograph and get some pictures. So that was,
Oh, that's
that's
awesome.
All right. Well, Mary Oakley Robertson, thank you so much. I'm sure I'll be seeing you around D1 soon, and best of luck
Of
this
course.
season at ETSU.
Of course. Thank you.
Hang on, can you?